Clayton. We are happy to be here. We are the Martin Luther King Jr. Freedom Center.
Yes.
And as you said, we've come all the way from Oakland, California to be here today.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And what we are doing here today, we are a 501c3 nonprofit organization.
Yes.
And we study Dr. King.
Okay.
And we practice Dr. King, and we apply what we've learned. And we are here at the partnership with Congresswoman Barbara Lee and Congresswoman Terri Sewell.
Oh,
That's right. That's right. So I'm going to let the students introduce themselves, and then we can talk a little bit more.
Okay, go
All
right
right.
ahead. Okay. Each one of you come up. You can go to either one of these mics.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for having us with you this afternoon. My name is Karen Bulkey. It's an honor to be here. The purpose of being here this week is we know it's dark in America, and we know we need light. And we know that we are our own best resource to turn on that light. So we're meeting with schools and elected officials and community leaders, and we're asking deep questions. You know, how can we really change ourselves?
Yeah.
How can we practice nonviolence in the 21st century? What does it mean to be from the West Coast? What does it mean to be from the South? How can we rush to get to know one another? How can we develop curiosity?
Yes.
How can we develop gratitude? How can we grow our capacity to be the change that our democracy absolutely requires, as Dr. King would say, of us right now?
Right.
Again, I'm Karen Bulkey, and I do government relations for the Martin Luther King Jr. Freedom Center. We are so very thankful to be sharing some time with your listening audience.
And we're so happy. We're so proud and pleased to have you here. And you know, we got a phone call a minute ago. I got a call from a guy named Kay.
Okay.
He's in Oregon, y'all. And he said they are listening from Oregon all the way to Washington. Wow, that's amazing. That truly is amazing. So that means you guys are doing an outstanding job. You're doing something that everybody wants to hear about.
Yes, sir.
Everybody wants to know this. Speak freely and just talk to us. Okay, you can use that one. You can use, okay, go ahead.
Good afternoon, y'all. My name is Amaya Proctor. I'm a member of the Freedom Center in Oakland, California. I am 15 years old, and I attend San Leandro High School, Rising Junior. And at the Freedom Center, we have 3 purposes for being here in Alabama today or this week. Our purpose is practicing nonviolence in the 21st century as well as studying it. We want to practice an abundance of gratitude in our communities, and we want to train ourselves to become active listeners and become have active curiosity when talking to members of our community.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. Go ahead, young lady.
Hello, everybody. My name is Anka. I am a rising junior in Oakland Charter High, and I'm a student with the Martin Luther King Jr. Freedom Center.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, or good afternoon, or whatever time it is where you're from. My name is Ursa, and I'm also a student at the Freedom Center.
Welcome, Ursa.
We've gotten to meet with all sorts of incredible people here in Alabama. Just to mention a few, Miss Melinda Williams, for example, shared some of her youth with us, and we got to run some classes together, really learn about what it means to practice love in a practical way, in a way that's not just an emotion, but it's a feeling that is physical in a way. You know, studying and writing together. We got to meet with the mayor, Stephen Reed, here. And he taught us a lot about seeing other worldviews and having discussions. Miss Akeisha Anderson, who is the policy director at Alabama Appleseed, told us a lot about really being persistent in our commitments, being able to see a global side of things.
Right.
And so it's been beautiful also studying with Trey Walk from the Equal Justice Initiative, who's talked to us about all the local initiatives going on here to really perceive justice and pursue that. It's been beautiful.
That's awesome. We need all of this. Everybody, I hope you're listening. Call your friends and tell them to tune in, because these youngsters have some very, very important information to share. Go ahead, young man.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Cameron Kendall from Oakland, California. We've been out here speaking with a lot of elders in Montgomery, including Dr. Richard Bailey, who is a local historian.
Very good friend.
Yeah,
good
he's
guy.
Been preaching about the importance of teaching our civil rights history as well as our local history across this nation. Also, Dr. Voda Harris Montgomery, who kind of relives her life story, telling us about growing up next door to Martin Luther King Jr., as well as the other great historical figures she's met in her home.
Yes.
Cheyenne Webb Christberg, known as Martin Luther King's smallest freedom fighter, and telling us her story as well.
Yes, yes. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Come on, go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Finn. I am a rising senior at the MLK Freedom Center in Oakland, California.
That's right.
Something we've been studying lately is Dr. King's concept of the world house.
Wow.
He says we all live on this earth together, and we
Yes.
are interconnected and interdependent, and we need to treat each other as such.
Yes.
So as we go throughout the community, we are trying to build the network of connectivity to try to reach the beloved community that he
Yes.
speaks about.
That's so nice. That's so nice. You know, we got to love each other in more ways than one. Really do.
That's right, Clayton.
Go right ahead.
Good
young
afternoon,
man.
everyone. My name is Favor Asu. I'm 15 and I'm a rising senior from Oakland, California.
Good looking fellow, too, y'all. Good looking fellow, y'all.
Thank you, sir. This experience has been really amazing. We've really taken the time to study, drop our phones, get off our computers, get off the internet, Instagram, really take a deep dive and study into Dr. King's concept of the
Yes.
world house and nonviolence, and really acknowledging the time that we're in and knowing that we need to put away distractions in our phones and electronics and really study and practice nonviolence in the 21st century.
Wow, that's beautiful, beautiful. Good afternoon, young lady.
Good afternoon. Today, I'm Alfia Sharif. I'm a 16-year-old. I'm a student at the Freedom Center.
Yes.
And right now, we live in a pandemic of materialism.
Mhm.
And knowing ourselves and knowing that we have more, we have a culture and we have a spirit and we have a character is so, so important today. And that's why we're here in Montgomery, building relationship with the students and the leaders and the
Yes.
people here. This bonding is it's very valuable, and we get to learn so much from so many people.
I know so. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
My name is Samhal Belai. I am also a student with the Martin Luther King Jr. Freedom Center. One of the most beautiful aspects of our journey here is being able to experience the intergenerational, intercultural, multi-religious experience of being together.
Yes.
We are consisted of multiple different cultures, languages, different mindsets, different ways of life, and to be able to gain wisdom and experience from all those different aspects of life has just been amazing. So yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you. Anybody else? Is that everyone?
I think that's everybody.
Okay.
Yes.
Dave, we back at you now.
So, like the students have been saying, we are studying Dr. King, and they said he coined this idea of the world house, this idea that we have to find a way to live with one another or we'll all perish as fools. So that's part of why we're here in Montgomery, to bridge the gap between urban and rural, but also because we are interested in forming long-term relationships with the people of Montgomery. And, that involves meeting with a lot of the folks that you've heard about, Dr. Richard Bailey, who we had a wonderful dinner with at Odessa's Blessing. I know.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
what a blessing it was. What a blessing it was. So we met with him and, got a chance to talk with him. And we learned a lot and recognized the deep and profound history of Montgomery. The history of Montgomery.
Yes, there's some deep-seated roots right here in Montgomery. A lot of it started right here in Montgomery.
That's right.
The home of the civil rights movement.
That's right.
Started here in Montgomery. I was a small kid, but I saw a lot of that, and I haven't forgot it. And, looking back over the years, you want to see, you want to share that with the youngsters
That's
today
right.
to let them know that all of this today didn't happen by accident.
That's right.
Okay? Someone paved the way for you and me to do what we do, to drive the kind of cars, to wear the tight clothes, to work, to live, to do whatever. Somebody paved the way for us to do these things.
That's right.
Go ahead.
We are intentionally intergenerational. We
Yes.
are intentionally intergenerational. We have a lot of people from different age groups for that same purpose, because there is so much that we can learn from you guys.
Yes.
And there is so much, I believe, that we can teach you guys.
No doubt about it. Looking at all these beautiful faces, these beautiful kids in here today, tells me that the world is changing.
It is.
And we need to learn from one another, talk to one another, experience life together, because I say it like this. You guys are the future. We got to protect you by any means necessary, okay? And I feel strongly about that. I don't want to discredit any generation, but you tell it like it is.
Tell it like it is.
Some of them have been lost, but the ones that we can save, we gotta save them.
We gotta save them.
Okay.
We gotta save them.
No doubt about it.
We were at the historic Harris House. One of the students mentioned we were talking with Dr. Valda Harris Montgomery, and one of the things that we learned, and this is a historic house in which many of the freedom riders sat, in which many of the people who organized the Montgomery bus boycott
all
sat,
of that, yes,
and the historic Selma to Montgomery march.
And for you guys to live this and see this and experience this, it's let you know that this world we live in is real.
That's right.
This is true. Yes, it is. It's true. Yeah, these aren't just fables and stories that folks are telling you. All of this really happened now. Okay? So be blessed. Be thankful. Share this with your sisters, your friends, your relatives, and say, hey, I went there.
That's right.
I took pictures. I talked to people. Okay?
And at the Freedom Center, we really believe that we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We can.
No, you don't.
We can.
No, you don't.
Apply these same principles of nonviolence, these same principles of protests, and applying pressure to the political parties and political representatives to make things happen. And to make them happen right.
Yes.
Make them happen right.
Make them happen. Do it right. You see this gentleman right here?
That's right.
This gentleman here probably has 2 million pictures of events and occasions that has happened around here in the city. This man here got knowledge. There's so much knowledge floating around in here you wouldn't believe. That young man back there, the troublemaker, his name is Ron Handy. Everything I do, Ron is a part of it. Ron has something to do with it, okay? Please believe me. Yes, indeed.
That's right.
I think one of the things that it's so important to acknowledge right now in our country is that it is truth-telling time.
Yes.
And if we're not out there telling the truth, ain't nobody gonna tell the truth for us but us.
That's right.
And
That's right.
so we're learning from our past, and we're acknowledging and recognizing our present condition. And look at the last 14 months in our country. From the global pandemic to Black Lives Matter,
all of that,
all that our communities are going through. We know we need to use our voices, and we know we need to cultivate a spirit that is modeled after the spirit that made the civil rights movement work, the capacity to develop self-control, discipline, to get up earlier, as the young people like to say, and stay up later, and be intentional about our social relationships.
Got to.
So we're conducting classes together, and we're asking really hard questions. How do we get over our defensiveness? Why is it that when we get coached to smile or open a door or help an elder, we want to roll our eyes or just sit back or assume it's somebody else's job to do? And if we can't, step forward as a country right now, register to vote, educate, learn about our candidates, run for office ourselves, get civically engaged, there's work to be done, and we are the ones that need to do it. We're practicing, we're studying, we're coming together, and we're looking for others that can help us grow, and those whom we can help grow. Because it's movement time, it's truth-telling time in America, and it's just been a real blessing to be a part of this.
As the elders would say, it's getting late in the evening.
It's getting late in the evening. It's time to wake up and start doing the right thing. That's right. That's right. We recognize that history has been made here, and we've come to make some history of our own. Right on. That's right. So we
welcome that.
That's good.
I welcome it with open arms. Yes, I do.
We've been working with Congresswoman Terri, Sewell's District Director, Melinda Williams, and we've done some great work. And some of the students are going to tell you some more.
Good. And it's taking initiative and speaking our voices, knowing our histories, and knowing what that can help us do now, today, and for our future. Helping. Dr. Bailey taught us that we need to frame our future. We need to frame our current status. Know the context. Know what's going on in our country, nationally and globally.
Right. Knowing what you stand for, knowing why we are here, means a lot. Go ahead.
And with that being said, as youth and as future leaders of our generation, we need to get intact with our moral progress. We need to get intact with our internal realm. We need to figure out our cultural values and our morals and what matters to us and what's most important to us.
Yes.
So many of us today struggle with technology, struggle with the notion of putting convenience instead of what's known as community. We sit here and we text our friends, we text our moms and dads. We don't even talk to them anymore.
Yes.
We don't write them letters. We don't call them. We don't have face-to-face sit-downs with them. We find ourselves lost in what's convenient for us and what we feel like is what we feel like is what's right to us, but we're kind of leading ourselves wrong. And it's important that we take time away to disconnect.
Ladies and gents, these kids are special. They are awesome. You see, you can just listen to them and hear the intellect, hear the words that they speak, and they mean something. They really do. I love it.
Can you permit one more little word?
Sure.
We're just normal adults and young people.
Yeah.
I want to do a shout out to our executive director, Dr. Roy Wilson.
Go
and
right
the crew
ahead.
That's
No problem.
Calling
No
in
problem.
from Oregon and the state of Washington.
Yes.
Bella, Nyla, Kay, all of our team that's listening right now.
Thank you
we're
guys
an
so much.
organization, and all of our curriculum and this beautiful poetry work comes from our executive director, Dr. Wilson. And the secret sauce is really coaching one another and developing the capacity to let people who love you shine a mirror and show you what you can do, what your strengths are, and what some of those weaknesses are that you can. We have the power to change,
right.
And we need each other. So we're an organization, and what we're able to do is because we do it together, and we really lift each other up. And pull each other up sometimes, and push each other up sometimes, huh, Sam Hall?
Yes.
we're just.
Right.
I
could
really
not do it alone.
appreciate how you and your organization, your staff, are molding these kids for the future. And I can see all of them making great strides and doing positive things in the world, around this country, and abroad. I can see it. I see it in their eyes, the glow, the gleam.
That's right.
It's beautiful. It's nice, y'all. Y'all don't know what you're missing.
Let them know, Clayton. Let them know.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Anybody else want to say something?
Anybody else winding it up?
Just saying thank you to Congresswoman Terri Sewell, and again our Congresswoman Barbara Lee, and to just all the people of Alabama and everyone that has had us. It has been an amazing time in Alabama, and in the amazing words of Miss Webb Chrisberg, it is time to do it. It is time to go ahead, take initiative, and do it. And in the amazing words of Dr. King, it is time for an all-out war against poverty, against racism, against white supremacy. And who else will do it if not all of us together?
That's right. Wonderful, wonderful. Very well said.
Yeah, if I could just add one more thing.
Go
Thank
right
you so much
ahead.
for hosting us, sir.
No problem. Let me say this. Let's thank Ron over there.
Let's
thank Ron.
Yes, Ron. Go
Thank
ahead.
you, Ron, for
told me-
connecting us.
When he told me you guys were here, I said, Ron, you know what next now. You know the next question. Bring them to studio sessions. And guess what? You guys are here.
That's right.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I really do. If I had a bucket of paint, okay, I would paint you guys all over the world. Yes, because paint is everywhere. Everywhere you look, you see paint. And if I could paint you guys all over the world, that's what I do.
Well,
yes, that's beautiful.
if I could add on to that point, actually.
Come on.
We've been talking about the World House and the interconnectedness of each of our own selves and our cultures. And over the pandemic, the Freedom Center brought 30 youth together that represented 22 countries, 19 languages, and 5 continents to go back into their cultural roots, into their ancestry, and pull out cultural recipes to cook, to share with another youth. They paired up and cooked that meal for their families. They wrote reflections for that. And we have right here a book called From a Kitchen in the World House.
Yes.
And when we produced this book, we produced it as a recognition of the interconnectedness of it all. And as a token of gratitude, of friendship for hosting us today on your show, we want to present this book to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ooh, that's so sweet. I appreciate it. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Good
I really do.
Good recipes.
Yes, there's some keepers in there.
Okay. I'll share it with my friends as well.
Please do.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Again, thank all of you. I really appreciate you coming, taking time, to share the knowledge, your stories. It's been a blessing. It's been a blessing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Clayton.
No problem. No problem. All right, now, ladies and gents, these are the beautiful kids of the Martin Luther King Freedom Center.
That's right.
Yes, the Martin Luther King Freedom Center. And as they say, let's thank Mr. Ron Handy for bringing them.